Greetings and salutations to you all once again. It is me, the Rabbit Inspector, and this is another pickups video. Actually ended up getting a very good deal a few days ago, as a matter of fact. My girlfriend actually ended up checking with a friend of hers because she sells video games and also repairs video game systems and whatnot. And turns out that she wanted to get rid of any Xbox stuff that she had had. Now, I know I've talked about on here about me not dealing with Xbox anymore, but this is the OG, original gamer Xbox. The first Xbox. And kind of looking back on those systems, it's kind of funny because of the fact that when you look at the amount of exclusives that have came out for all three Xbox systems, the first one I think had the most, the 360 had the second most, and the one has like piddly diddly piss squat nowadays, which is strange. But anyways, turns out that she ended up having, she wanted to get rid of any Xbox stuff that she had. She ended up giving us one Xbox, another Xbox, which was it could be used for parts, which technically the only thing that really needs to be done is I think the disk drive needs to be repaired, and then you could have another Xbox. People are telling me to mod it, which is, you know, all well and good. I may actually consider that. I may look into that. And then you also got we had 20 games and 4 controllers and all the hookups and all that, and also some extra Xbox 360 hookup stuff because she just had it as extra, which is all well and good. All that for 60 bucks. No shit, $60. Got 2 Xbox systems, 20 games, and all those connections and everything. So I'm actually going to be moving, as a matter of fact, this weekend. So I will do another pickups video in terms of the games that we got, or the ones that are probably actually working, because some of them aren't. We may need to get those repaired or something, but later on I'll end up doing another pickups video, and you'll see me in a whole new area, if you will. But besides that, I actually ended up, considering we got the Xbox, I found some really good deals for some original Xbox games. And I got a good stack of them. I pretty much had hit the jackpot when I went to this place. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I never would have thought I would have found this many at such cheap prices as I did. But surely enough, that was the case. So I have a few other ones here to show as well, but I'm going to go ahead and start with the Xbox ones first. And I looked over reviews for all of these. I checked them all out and whatnot, see if I wanted them. I had a few other ones that were in my hand, but I put them back because I'm like, you know. And I didn't really have time to look at any videos or anything like that because I was in the mall area and I wasn't really getting good signal in there to be watching any type of videos or anything like that. So anyways, I'll go ahead and start with the first one here. As a matter of fact, I'll just grab a handful of them, and then I'll just go ahead and work my way on around from there. The first one that we got here is Pariah, and I heard that this was actually an interesting first-person shooter. Looks like one of those sci-fi first-person shooter kind of deals. So, yeah, definitely looking forward to checking that out. But all of these games that I got that I'm about to show dealing with Xbox were anywhere between $1.50 and $6. I think there was probably maybe 1 or 2 that was 10, and maybe 3 of them there was probably 11, I believe, something like that, but it was within that range. But most of them were on the cheap. So definitely hit the jackpot, I think. The next one I got here is a doozy. It's Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2. Definitely been looking into wanting to play this again. I had this on the original. I had this one before when I had my first 360, and of course the 360's whole emulation, whatever process of trying to play original Xbox games was faulty. So didn't really get a chance to deal with that. I had sound problems, the game would crash, all that crap. So now I have an original Xbox with the original game. So gonna jump on into that. I actually got it real cheap on Steam as well, but I have no desire to play PC games. I just don't. Multiplayer wise, yeah, if there's a multiplayer game that comes out, but overall, that's just me. I just don't. You know, that's, hey, to each their own, right? So there you go. As long as you're having fun, that's the main deal. As long as you're having fun. It doesn't matter what platform you play on or what it is, as long as you're having fun. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. The next one here is Blinx 2 Masters of Time and Space. I've heard about both of these, like you're playing as a cat that can manipulate time or something like that or whatever. But definitely, I'm looking forward to getting the first one at some point. But I went ahead and said, you know what, this thing was only like $1.50, $2 or something like that. So I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and get it. And so definitely looking forward to jumping on in that one. The next one I got here is Mech Assault. And I heard that this one was like really awesome. And I came back home and looked up all gameplay footage a lot from all of these and really did like what I was seeing. So yeah, never really got into Mech Warrior, Mech Assault kind of games too much. But from what I've seen from other friends of mine, they really liked them and went ahead and jumped on this and definitely went ahead and said, you know what, for a few dollars, it's a no-brainer. Sorry, I had a brain fart there because I'm trying to see, trying to rearrange my hands here because I get finicky sometimes. The next one I got here is Hunter the Reckoning Redeemer, and this is like an overhead, maybe like action RPG kind of thing. There was one that was released on PS2, and I think it also came out on GameCube. I'm not necessarily sure, but I don't think it's the same game. I don't believe that it is. But this was only a few dollars, and I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and get it because I think it's also based off of a tabletop game as well, I believe. But it's like an overhead, like action RPG, I believe. So yeah, definitely looking forward to jumping into that one as well. The next one I got here is Crimson Sea. This one looks really awesome. I saw some various gameplay footage of it. It was like a third-person action shooter kind of game kind of thing. But I've heard positive things about it, so I definitely wanted to go ahead and get that. And that was only like a couple dollars too. So the next ones that we got here, this one has had positives and negatives thrown all around, but that is Advent Rising for the original Xbox. And look, I can win myself $1 million. Oh, wait a minute, it went dead back in 2000 and something. When did it go dead? 2005, so I'm pretty much screwed. Yeah, I think that's what that is. No, I'm sorry, that's not it. I don't know, whatever. The thing is that it's gone and dead, everything's done with it, you know, it's done the, whatever. Would have been nice to win $1 million, but whatever. But there was positives and negatives that came out of this, and I heard the game was good for it being like a third-person action shooter kind of thing. But the fact of the matter is that I don't know if something happened where the company went under or they just decided not to do it anymore, but they ended up going and saying, well, we're not going to make a sequel to this because I believe the way that it ended set it up for a trilogy or a sequel or a series of games or something like that. So anyways, it was like $1.95 or something like that. I said, well, even though I'm probably going to get a shitty ending, I'm going to go ahead and hopefully have a good game to go through. So the next one I got here is called Nightcaster Defeat the Darkness. Defeat the darkness. Know the Holy Lord around and take the crucifix and stab it in his ass. You know, just get it out of here. Get the demons out. Get the demons out. But anyways, yeah, this looks like it'll be really interesting. It looks like it's a third-person action role-playing game, something like that. But definitely looking forward to jumping into it. And of course, this one was cheap as well. It says it's like a fast action spellcasting combat with deep strategy for the ultimate action adventure experience. But what do you fucking do? But anyways, yeah, looking forward to trying that one out. The next one I got here is a game that actually ended up getting an HD remake, I guess on the Xbox One or something. But I said, you know what? I don't have an Xbox One anymore. Don't care about it. So I went ahead and got the original one, and that is Phantom Dust. Heard good things about this. Figured, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and jump on it, and I'm going to give it a shot. And surely enough, that's what I'm going to do. Kind of seems like some of these that I got here are kind of like mostly along the lines of like third-person action games, whatnot, which is all well and good with me, you know, as long as it's fun, that's the main thing. So I looked up some footage for all of these, and all of them look really awesome. The next one I got here is Gun Valkyrie, and honestly, this one looks pretty cool. It looks really awesome. I'm surprised that it's so awesome that it's just like, it's crazy. It kind of looks like it has that Japanese action game kind of feel to it. So yeah, definitely looking forward to jumping on that. Once again, it looks like one of those third-person action games. The next one I got here is Jade Empire, the limited edition. Yes, indeed. Got this for like I think it was like $2 or $3 or something like that. So always loved this. Had this originally on my first 360. Had the original, obviously, because it only came out on the original Xbox. Went ahead and played it and beat it once. Didn't have any problems with this one, surprisingly, on my 360 at the time. Had no problems at all. Went ahead and played it, went through it once, really liked it, told myself, you know what, I need to go back through it again, you know, maybe however many times, whatever other storylines there are, and go ahead and give it a shot. And this one has the game, but it also has a bonus content thingy in here. I have no idea what exactly is in this one. Yeah, it came in a little slipcase thingy. It's not telling me what is on there. I'm not sure. I don't know if it'll just, maybe I could just pop it in my computer and see if it'll play, or maybe not, considering it says it's Xbox, so maybe it'll only play on the Xbox. So I was just thinking maybe it was just a regular DVD. You know, I don't know, maybe there is some like playable stuff on the bonus content. I'm not sure. They got it says the making of it. They have the making of it, and they have some demos on there, and I guess that's it. So whatever. But yeah, definitely glad that I picked it up. And you can already see, what the hell was that? I don't know, I guess my phone's fully charged or something. I never heard it make that sound before. You interrupted my video. Screw you. I need to get a new phone anyways because mine's being a piece of shit lately. But anyways, you can probably notice that some of the papers and whatnot that's inside of these look like they're kind of like copied, like they didn't have the original slips that went inside of the cases, so they went ahead and just, I guess they found some to print them out and put them inside the cases. Which, you know, obviously I'd love to have the originals because when you look at that, it's supposed to have like a shiny kind of cover considering it's a limited edition. But whatever, man. I spent like $2 or $3. What the hell? What do I care? You know, as long as I got the game in good condition, which it is, all of these are in good condition. I make sure that they are in good condition or resurfaced or whatever before they even sell them. I was like, you know what? Whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and get it anyways. And surely enough, I did, and don't regret it at all. I think I also got it like real cheap on PC as well as Star Wars: The Old Republic, but hadn't really gotten into that one either on PC. So, but like I mentioned before about the whole PC thing. The next one I got here is Kingdom Under Fire: The Crusaders. This is like kind of like another one, kind of almost like one of those Musou kind of games. I guess that's how you pronounce it, with it being like a big, huge army, and you're going and fighting all these enemies, or you're playing as like one specific character and going and just barreling through a bunch of different enemies and whatnot. Heard it was really awesome for it being like a third-person action kind of game or whatever. There's another one actually that's called Kingdom Under Fire Heroes, which is kind of along the same lines, I believe. So I'm looking to get that one as well, and I'm also looking to get Dungeons and Dragons Heroes as well, which is almost like, it almost seems like it's a Baldur's Gate game set in the Dungeons and Dragons universe, which Baldur's Gate is set in Dungeons and Dragons, but it's like it just takes the main name of Dungeons and Dragons and then just like it almost seems like it ports over assets from Baldur's Gate, Dark Alliance 1 and 2, I believe it is. So, but anyways, heck, if I can get that really cheap, I really want to get that one because I love those over the head third person whatever action RPGs. And one of the other ones that I got here, or actually two of the other ones that I got here. One of them I actually got at a pawn shop for like $8, and that is Bullet Bitch. I mean, Witch. I've heard mixed reactions about this. This is an Xbox One. I'm sorry, Xbox 360. Lord have mercy on my soul. Anyways, but yeah, Xbox 360. I don't know why I was saying original Xbox, but yeah. Heard some things about this, and ooh, Star Ocean Until the End of Time just installed on the PS4. I'm happy about that. But anyways, yeah, this was like $8, and I went ahead and said, you know what, I've never played it before, but I really wanted to try it out, really give it a shot. Got it for $8 flat. So went ahead, bought it, and seems like it'll look really cool. It says it's like, it's a limited edition. It's not a limited edition. There ain't nothing extra in here that's any kind of limited edition hornswoggle BS. But look, yeah, there's that, but there's also like another cover that's on the inside of there. Yeah, right in there like that. But yeah, went ahead and just stuck with what I got right now, and just what it was from on the other side. Whatever those are, I don't know if that's her, if that's other characters, or what the case may be. I'm not really sure. The next one I got here, which is for the original Xbox, because I got 360 and the original one mixed up, is Circus Maximus Chariot Wars. Now, this is apparently a chariot racing game set in like mythical Roman times, but you actually have other people who are on your chariot with you fighting other fighters on other chariots. Seemed like a really cool idea. It was only a few dollars. Seemed like it was awesome. It says it's like a co-op racing and fighting action, 22 distinct drivers and warriors, 7 environments, 19 tracks set throughout Roman Empire, 4 race modes, training, arcade, multiplayer, and career, multiple power-ups, deadly weapons, and special moves. So yeah, and I also saw some footage of this. It looked like it would be really awesome. So yeah, and I'm into like Roman stuff and Roman mythology and things like that. So I was like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna give that a shot. The next one that I have here are actually some PS4 titles. One of these I actually had previously. I think I might have mentioned this before. I had it previously a long time ago. It was one of the first PS4 games that I got, and then I went and sold it, and I'm like, you know, I'll probably never go back to it again because the ship combat couldn't really interest me. And surely enough, that is Assassin's Creed Black Flag, for Black Flag. And I had actually, now, I've gotten much farther into it than what I did previously because I guess at that point in time there was other games coming out or something I was playing and I was just like, oh, whatever. I'm just going to go ahead and move on to something else. Sure enough, I did. And now I'm back to this again, and I'm farther in it, and it seems like it's pretty cool. You know, it's taken me a little time to get a little bit more used to the ship combat and all that, and just going over the waves and just taking forever to get to certain places, or you got to go unlock the fast travel, and then you get the fast travel, and then you can fast travel. But anyways, yeah, so anyways, glad to get that again, and I only got, I forgot, I think I got it for only like 15 bucks or something, and it was brand new as well, so I was like, hey, you know what, I'll go ahead and jump for it. And the next one I got here is the Dwarves! The Dwarves! Anyways, this is based off of like a book trilogy that I actually ended up getting free on Audible and didn't even finish listening to it yet, so I went ahead and said, you know what, they're putting a game out for it now. I'm going to try the game. Been playing the game. Pretty interesting. Seems like it's really text and story heavy, which makes sense considering it's from a book series. But I went ahead and I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot. Been playing it some, been liking it. I'm kind of at a point right now where even though you put the difficulty down really low, you can also seem like you can get into some difficulty spikes, which is stupid. But yeah, there's a current battle that I'm at. I think I may need to leave if I can, or load another save and go somewhere else and see if I can probably level up some, or see if there's some other side quests or something like that I can do before I go to this specific battle, because I pretty much got my ass whipped. You know, just got the floor wiped with my entrails and everything. But anyways, it's really cool, and like one of my favorite like classic fantasy creatures is dwarves. Dwarves! So I went ahead and jumped on that. The dwarves! The next one I got here is Prey on PS4. I had mixed reactions to this. I honestly wish that I didn't get it new, but at that point in time, I was like, I really do want to play this. I really want to give it a shot. I really want to see what it's all about. And because the demo that I saw was like, you know, but then I ended up seeing more combat, and the combat was interesting. And then I ended up seeing a little bit more story to it, and I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give it a shot. And they actually ended up giving me 2 posters with it. The guy that actually worked at the place, he said, you know what? He said, I don't mind giving some pre-order bonuses out to people, regardless of whether they pre-order or not. He said, because we're just swamped with all this extra stuff, and we just need to go ahead and give it away. So I got 2 posters out of it, and I didn't even pre-order it. So there you go. But went ahead, got it. I like it. You know, people are talking about how grand, like awesome and weird the story is, but I haven't seen that, and I'm over 10 hours into this. It's interesting. The environment's interesting. The powers are interesting. All of that. You know, the gunplay is cool. The action's cool. The combat and whatnot. But the story just, it's just like it's not there for me. I don't really know. It's just like it's just like it peters out for me. I mean, how long do I have to go through this game before it seems like the story's actually going to pick up for me? You know, but anyways, I don't know. We'll just have to see. I mean, time will tell. I'll go on through it gradually and see what'll happen. But overall, I mean, it's okay, but I'm kind of disappointed with it at the same time. I much rather prefer the Dishonored series because it's made from the same people who created Dishonored. Okay, let's see. What else do we have here? We got a few PS3 games here, as a matter of fact. Remember the last time when I ended up telling you guys I ended up getting the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, the Game of the Year edition? Well, I also ended up getting the original edition of just Oblivion itself. And there's a reason for this. Because apparently, in the Game of the Year edition, the North American version, when you go and get vampirized, vampirism, whatever, I freaking hate I know what people will say. They'll be like, well, you get these awesome, interesting powers, you know, with you being a werewolf or with you being a vampire. I hate them. I hate it just feeling like it's handicapping me in a ways. You know, it's always get these extra powers, but as a vampire, you can't be out in the rain. You can't be out in the rain. You can't be out in the sun. You can't be doing none of that. You know, and I think you have to feed every 24 hours or something like that. That was in Oblivion. I don't know about Skyrim. You know, I think it kind of weakens you a bit, but that's about it. But I went ahead to a pawn shop, got this for $4. Everything is immaculate in it, just like nice disc, everything. The maps in there, all of that. So I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and play this, and when I want to go to the DLC, I'll just pop the Game of the Year edition in. The Game of the Year edition that I got was a little bit more expensive, but regardless, I still ended up getting the first one really cheap, and I said, I'm going to go ahead and play this and then go to that one when I want to go to the DLC, which is kind of strange considering the fact that I'm using a save from the Game of the Year edition, and it's working on the original version. I thought maybe it wouldn't because I also have quests for I'm using the original disc, but I have quests for the DLC, so I'm probably not going to be able to access the DLC with the original one. I don't know. I hope it don't like crash the game or something. You know, if I forget that I'm playing the original version. The next one I got here is Assassin's Creed Rogue. Pretty much Assassin's Creed 4.5, as I've heard. Interesting stuff so far. Not really too much to write home about, except for that it's like Assassin's Creed 4.5. So I'll see how it goes as I go along through it. Next one I got here is Drakengard 3. Heard some positives and negatives about this, but I love Nier Automata so much, and considering the Nier series is a spinoff of the Drakengard series, I went ahead and picked it up. From what I played so far, it's really interesting. It seems like so far it's pretty narrow, pretty just straightforward along a path, not really branching out or anything like that so far. Story is wow, kind of crazy to start out with, but I haven't really gotten too much far into it to try to really determine. But it has a real interesting. I like the combat too. Man, the frames per second could have used some freaking work in this game, though, dude. I mean, seriously, I mean, it's bearable, but it's just like, come on, man. You couldn't release a patch or something with this to fix that. I'm just like, spinning the camera around, and it's just like this blurring effect. I'm like, I can't stand that shit. Next one I got here is Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. And actually, I just ended up hearing about that this was going to be released on PS4 and Xbox One, which actually makes sense, I think, because of the fact that it was recently released on PC. So I was like, well, I didn't even really think nothing of it until a friend of mine ended up mentioning to me at a later date, and I was like, gosh, man, I was like, you're right, that probably is going to happen. So surely enough, I ended up going and picking this up. This was before I talked to him about it. I went and picked it up because I had it before, and then it came to a point where I think I broke the game near the end of the game, and I couldn't progress or something, and I said, well, the hell with it, never went back, sold it, whatever. Went and got this, because this was like the new version that came out, and I got it for like, I don't know, it was like 13 bucks or something like that. And I've been playing it, and I actually had a previous save, as a matter of fact, because apparently your saves and obviously your pawns save on whatever servers or whatever that Capcom has. They save on there, and you go back to them, and oh, there they are. It's just like, oh, wow. And my save was still there, too, which is crazy, because I don't even think I even had it on the new PS3 that I got a long time back. I don't know. Maybe it was on there, and I just didn't know nothing about it, or maybe it was from where I played it when I had PS Plus or whatever the case may be. But anyways, yeah, looking forward to the newer version coming out. Probably not going to be paying, I ain't going to be paying no full price for it. Sure as hell not no damn $60, because F that. But at some point, yeah, I'll end up getting it on PS4 when it's like really cheap, and then I'll, it'll be fun to stream it, trophies, all that stuff, screenshots and things. And I got 3 left here. Boy, I bet some of you guys are happy because I went on for 22 damn minutes. The last 3 that I got here is, I really want to go ahead and dive into this and give it a shot because it's like really gorgeous and it's just looks cool and it's like a turn-based JRPG apparently, and that's Baten Kaitos, Eternal Wings and the Lost Ocean. And got this for like 9, 10, 11 bucks, something like that. From what I've seen online, it's actually more expensive, but it looks really colorful, looks really interesting, and it's a turn-based like JRPG apparently, but it has like cards that you use to be able to attack in battle, something like that. But yeah, definitely going to go ahead and jump on this and want to give it a shot. From all the gameplay I've seen, I'm just like, man, this thing is just as pretty as it can be, And I'm just like, yeah, it's got turn-based stuff going on. And I'm just like, oh, so definitely looking forward to jumping into that one. Because honestly, this has been one that I've been looking for a while for the GameCube. So as soon as I saw it, I knew I had to snatch it up. You know me with RPGs. I love them to death. The next one I got here is Fire Emblem Shadows of Valentia. Some people say Valentia, some people say Valencia, some people say Valentai, T-A-T-T-Titty. Tough titty, said the kitty. Anyways, but yeah, I actually kind of regret the fact of me not getting the collector's edition. I thought about it for a while. I'm like, whatever. This was $40, and the collector's edition was $60. I was like, damn, I should have just went ahead and did it. I should did it. But I didn't do it, and it's all well and good. I'm not worried about it, but I'm still glad that I got the game. It's pretty interesting so far. It seems to me like maybe it's probably pulling me in a little bit more than the previous Fire Emblems have. And see, like the Fire Emblem series to me is like the Legend of Zelda series to me. I love the series, but I've never beaten one of them, which is crazy. I know it's nuts, but I still like playing them. I still like them, and it gives me reason, obviously, to go back and play them again. But also. Also ended up getting the double pack of the amiibos, as a matter of fact, for both of the main characters there. It's Alm and whatever her damn name is. Celica? Well, whatever. Yeah, so it'll be her and Alm, the main dude there, in a double pack. And I went ahead and I was like, oh, I gotta get these. Because for a fact that if you don't get them now, some jackass scalper is going to be on eBay, and probably Nintendo ain't going to put out a lot and whatever, and they just have to do a re-release again, whatever. I didn't want to jinx myself for it, but at the exact same time, I can still use those amiibos on this. And actually, I believe what it says here, you can summon allies from throughout the Fire Emblem's history, which is all well and good with me. So I'm definitely going to do that when I end up getting the amiibos. And the last one that I have here, I actually got for $4, and I don't like music games. I don't care about music games, but considering the fact that this was dealing with Final Fantasy, I knew I had to go ahead and give it a shot, especially at $4. So it's a theater. I guess it's called Theater Rhythm, Rhythm, whatever for Final Fantasy. Play a little bit of this. It's really interesting. I mean, for $4, hell, it's a steal for me. And you're basically going through different musical interludes and pieces of music throughout the Final Fantasy history. And they're also showing different scenes from the Final Fantasy series and different FMVs and whatnot. And you pick your party of the different characters that they offer you throughout the Final Fantasy series, and they have different stat bonuses and things you can equip with them or take off of them and stuff like that. It's a really interesting mechanic. But yeah, definitely, definitely really cool. Want to get back to doing this again. Seems like it's a real simple, easy game to get into. But yeah, went ahead and jumped on it because obviously, you know, I'm big into RPGs and I love the Final Fantasy series as well. So I definitely had to go ahead and jump on that. But let me see here. I wonder if there was anything else around here that I needed to show that was inside of any of these other cases before I end up ending this video. I don't really think that there is, except for the fact that, yeah, the Oblivion one that I was talking about from before, right there, it is the map of Cyrodiil, which is one of the provinces that is inside of the Elder Scrolls series. Got one for Skyrim and got two for Oblivion now, because they actually had 2 or 3 copies, I believe, of Oblivion there at the pawn shop, and I went ahead and looked at both of them. Both of them looked great, all that, but only one of them had the map. And I got, even though I already have one map of Cyrodiil, now I have another one because I like going for as complete as I possibly can, regardless. But anyways, the thing is, what I mentioned from before about the whole vampirism thing dealing with Oblivion is the fact that you couldn't progress because there was a glitch, because you couldn't move onward, because you couldn't heal yourself of it, which was aggravating as shit. I know I didn't explain all that beforehand. I'm sorry I had all these games to go through, and I feel like I just been running my damn mouth off. But anyways, the fact is that I told myself I'm not going to deal with that crap. I said I'm not dealing with it. I'm not dealing with this vampirism bullshit. It was just aggravating the shit out of me, having to heal myself and deal with the sunlight and having to, all it just aggravating as hell. So I went ahead and got the original one so that I could actually be able to go on the quest in case I get that freaking crap to be able to progress. Because the only way you could go through it is if you have the European version, and you have to change the language to German. And I'm like, what the hell? You got to change it to German. So yeah, you have to change it to German to go and fix it, where you get into a conversation with the witch that's supposed to be able to heal you of it. So and it changes it to like bluegrass or bloodgrass or something like that, and for you to be able to move onward and progress with the quest. And I'm like, great. I was thinking about trying to do that on the North American version, but obviously that wasn't happening. So I just went ahead and got the original one. I like how it feels too. It has the thick instruction booklet in it. It's got the game. It's got the map. It's got all that. That's how games should freaking be. They shouldn't be feeling like hollow husks like they are nowadays because of the damn thing. Like, oh, digital's taking over. Physical is still living on. Regardless of what anyone says, physical is going to, I'm going to support physical until the world blows up. You know, everybody is like, yeah, I can understand how digital can be good and digital can be bad, but I'm still supporting physical, and there's a lot of people out there that are, so don't listen to the bullshit like, oh, everybody's going digital. They're liars. It's not true. Everybody isn't going digital. Because everybody just don't like having code and pieces of shit out there in the ether, out there in the internet world, for crying out loud. And you can't just be able to hold something real in your hands like this you can take care of and actually hold and realize that you have something substantial. Not knowing that one day maybe your digital downloads will be taken away. Maybe the network that you're connected to will lock you out and you're just wasting money. Guess what? If you bought physical, it wouldn't have happened. Sorry. Got a little out of base there. I guess I had to do a little bit of rant or something there at the end. But, yeah, so I always go physical before I go digital because I think it's a smarter way to go. But anyways, only time I do digital is if it's like really, really cheap. You know, if it's like a really good deal over physical and it's something that I really want to play at that point in time. But other than that, yeah, I'm not getting into that anymore. Hell with it. I'm going to go ahead and end this now. Since it's almost damn 30 minutes. Later, taters.